Hey friends, how many nights have you stood in the kitchen and asked yourself, what in the world am I going to do with this pound of ground beef? Well, I've got you covered. Today I'm sharing 3 brand new dinner ideas that prove just how versatile ground beef can be. We're talking Big Mac Casserole that absolutely shocked us, garlic butter honey barbecue tacos, oh my goodness, and a pizza pasta that's as fun and delicious as it sounds. And these are easy, budget-friendly meals made with simple grocery store ingredients that your family will actually eat. I'm Mel, welcome home. Let's get supper started. Tonight we're making a Big Mac Casserole. I'm really excited about this recipe. It starts with 1 pound of ground beef. I've got that frying up in a skillet over on top of the stove, and I'm chopping up half of an onion. Now that we've got this diced up, I'm going to put it in here with my hamburger meat, and I'm taking about a half a cup of these little dill pickle hamburger slices, and I kind of want to get a lot of the excess juice off of them. You want a little, but not a whole lot. And I'm just going to dice these up into very little bitty pieces here. Just chop them right up. And I'm making about half a size of this recipe. I do that a lot here anymore. But I will put the entire recipe on my website for you. And those recipes, you can always print them off if you like to have recipes in hand and keep them in a notebook, or you can print it on or pin it to your Pinterest board. Either way, while our ground beef and onions is browning up, we're going to work on this little custard portion of the program that is going to kind of hold our little casserole together. It maybe even will give it the taste of the sauce. I'm just not exactly sure what all this little custard's going to do for it, but it starts with 2 eggs, a 1/4 cup of heavy cream, about 1/8 of a cup of mayonnaise. Like I said, I'm halving this, so these are kind of odd measurements, but I did measure this out because I'm bad to get heavy-handed with my mayonnaise. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of mustard. I will trust myself to eyeball that. And a tablespoon of ketchup. Also about 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder and about 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. Now let's just get all of this stirred together. Ground beef's looking good. I always forget to get my oven preheated, so let's do that, 350 degrees. And I'm just going to take a paper towel and get up any of the excess grease. You just want to make sure and do that because, I'm going to turn it down a little bit too, you don't want any grease in here making your casserole greasy or not come together. Now that my ground beef and onions are done, I'm just going to put in a teaspoon of minced garlic. Let's give it just a minute to saute around in here. I said it a million times, in my opinion. When you're cooking ground beef and onions, you just got to throw a little garlic in there. I just don't care what you're making. You got to have that little bit of garlic in. I'm also going to put in about 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. I just think it's really going to bring the flavor out in it. And we want a little bit of salt and just a little bit of pepper. You guys have been asking me about this. I can't find it on the shopping affiliate tab in YouTube to list it down in the shopping cart here, but I will leave you a link to it in my description box. It's from Target. It's the Threshold little 3, what do they call it? A marble stacking salt and pepper cellar. Just holds a little bit, but what I do like about it is it's curved right here so you can get a hold of stuff good, and it's such a space saver. Okie dokie, back to programming here, but we want a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Let's get it all incorporated here. Okay, let's just let this simmer here for a minute or two. Let everything come together. Ground beef is perfect. I'm just gonna set it off of the stove eye right back here. I'm gonna let mine cool just a minute because I'm gonna build my casserole in my cast iron skillet. If you did not cook in an oven-safe pan, at this point, just transfer this into a greased 9x13 casserole dish. I'm just gonna spread it out like to make an even layer here. And this is a 10 1/4 inch cast iron skillet. It's from the Black Lock collection from Lodge. You guys have heard me sing those praises of the Black Lock. It's triple seasoned and it's about 30% lighter than regular cast iron. Now we're gonna take our pickles and just disperse them all across the top. You want them evenly placed here so you get a little bit in every bite. Now my little egg mixture, I did take my whisk to it to really get my eggs broken down in here, and we're gonna pour it all over the top of this casserole again, evenly dispersing it. And I'm gonna go ahead, before I scrape what's left out of here, I'm gonna go ahead and spread it out as far as I can so I know where I need a little extra. I've had y'all, a couple of you, say that I leave a lot of stuff in the bowl. Honey, I just don't show you everything. You know I'm not a waster. I'll scrape my bowls clean. Now I'm just taking about a 1/2 cup of shredded cheese. I'm using cheddar. I guess if you wanted to be true to the Big Mac, you would use American here. We're gonna put this in that 350-degree oven. We're gonna bake it uncovered for about 25 to 30 minutes. And I love a dish like this, especially if you have kids on a weeknight. You get home from work, it just takes 10 or 15 minutes, to brown up your ground beef, mix up the custard part. Then you put it in the oven. You can start a load of laundry, start the kids on their homework. I love meals like this, especially weeknights during the school year, because you got your hands free. I also love that these are all the dishes that it took to put that together. And honestly, some of that is from this morning probably. But yeah, that's all I have to wash, which is a good thing because I cleaned out the refrigerator and I got quite a few bowls and some pans and stuff to put away anyhow. Once it comes out of the oven, you're going to let it set for just 5 or 10 minutes to kind of come together. And of course, we're going to top it like we would a Big Mac. I've got some shredded iceberg lettuce for a good crunch. And I'm putting on some secret sauce that I just bought at Kroger's. But hey, if you want to keep this like carb friendly, you can make your own and use like sugar-free ketchup and all that kind of stuff. And I will leave you a pin below in the description box for a recipe for some keto Big Mac sauce. But I just went the very quick and easy route tonight. Put a couple pickles on here. The only thing I didn't have was some sesame seeds to sprinkle on top. Big Mac casserole. I'm intrigued.
How hot is it?
I don't know. My hand's hot through this plate.
Yeah, mine is. That's why I was asking. Be careful.
It tastes like a daggone Big Mac.
Mm-hmm.
That is really good.
That is good. Huh.
There's like this custard that you make, and I think it does make it come together good, but I also think it gives it a good flavor too. Like, I think it lends a little bit to the Big Mac flavor because I just had a little bit of sauce on this bite.
That's very good.
Mm-hmm. I like the little dill pickles cut up in it because I don't like a big pickle like this on a hamburger. I like to eat it. But these little pickles, I'm on board with that.
See, I like pickle.
Mm-hmm. I think the Worcestershire sauce really gave it a great flavor to the meat, smoky. And I can taste the paprika. I taste everything in here. I cannot wait to make this again. I'm really excited about this one.
Yeah, I was really surprised how much it actually does taste like a Big Mac.
It really does.
It is very good.
And this, using 1 pound of meat, this is probably plenty for a family of 4. But if I make this for all of us, I'll definitely make the entire recipe because you want more than one little pie piece.
Oh, yeah.
It tastes so much like a Big Mac that I did, in fact, have to go out to the garage and grab me a Dr. Pepper Zero because there's just some things you want a fizzy Coke with. And Patrick decided he needed some of these candied jalapenos on his. We're in love with these things. They're kind of crunched up in there because I make a dip out of them. If you haven't seen that, it's cream cheese and these. They're not hot. Y'all know I can't take spice. But he put that on top of his. He said that took it right over the top for him. All right, I'm weighing mine down with some more lettuce. Let's go eat. It's no secret that my family's favorite meats are chicken and beef, and my favorite place to get them is from Good Chop. They are the #1 and my personal favorite American meat and seafood delivery service for so many reasons. All of their products are sourced exclusively from American farms and fisheries. I love knowing that my purchase from Good Chop helps support local family farms and independent ranchers right here in the U.S. And their products are such good quality, they stand behind everything with a 100% money-back guarantee. They've got over 100 items to choose from, everything from organic chicken, responsibly raised pork, 100% grass-fed ground beef, all the way to wild-caught seafood and USDA choice and prime steaks. I just recently made some cod in the air fryer, and y'all, it was so good. I couldn't wait to get in this order so that I could make it again. And even in this crazy summer heat, my order arrived frosty and in pristine condition, just like always. I've been using Good Chop for a couple years now, and I've had nothing but top quality meat, great flavor, and excellent customer service. And it's so convenient. Just pick the plan size that works for your family. You can customize your box with any cut you want, and then it just shows up at your door, vacuum sealed and frozen at peak freshness, ready for use when you need it. And you can always skip or cancel a shipment anytime you need to. And I love that Good Chop has not raised the price on their base plan in over 4 years. And that says a lot these days. So if you're looking to make better meals with better meat, go to goodchop.com/YouTube and use code MOMMAMAIL50, or you can click the link in the caption below and you'll get $50 off plus free shipping on your first box. Whether it's ground beef, chicken, or any of their over 100 items, start with great quality from Good Chop. Go to goodchop.com/YouTube. I've got the link below, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. Remember that code's MOMMAMAIL50. It's $50 off plus free shipping on your first box. You're going to love them. And thank you, Good Chop, for being a longtime supporter and sponsor here on the channel. Today, I've got a pound of ground beef, but this is not just ground beef. This is ground sirloin, which I love to use ground sirloin in a dish where, you know, like the meat is the main star of everything, like chopped steak or chopped sirloin. This is going to be made into some garlic butter, honey barbecue taco meat. So I've got a pound of it in here. It's not going to have a whole lot of grease either, and that's good for this. I'm going to brown this up, get it cooked all the way through. While we're doing that, let's go ahead and make a sauce for these tacos. Starting our sauce with a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. Then we're going to add in about 2 tablespoons of honey. That was just a really big guesstimate, the way that came out. 2 tablespoons of your favorite barbecue sauce. Today I'm using a hickory and brown sugar, Sweet Baby Ray, and about a 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika. Give this a good little mix, and I'm just going to set it in the fridge till we finish up our taco meat. All right, my ground sirloin is completely cooked through. I do like my taco meat in very small crumbles. So I'm going to take just a second and do that. And like I said, I have no grease in here. If you had some extra grease, you definitely want to get that drained out of here. Now I'm going to add in about 3 tablespoons of butter just right into this hamburger meat. I'm also going to put in a couple of teaspoons of minced garlic. We're starting to build our flavors out here. So let's get our garlic sauteed, let that butter start getting melted down. And you know what? I'm going to throw in a little bit more butter since I really didn't have much grease and I was kind of skimpy with it to begin with. This looks and smells so good. Now into this, we're going to put a 1/4 cup of our honey. A little tip, I did spray this and my measuring spoon. That's why this honey slid out so easy. I used a little olive oil spray. I'm going to put in a 1/3 cup of that same barbecue sauce, 1 teaspoon of the smoked paprika. Going to use a teaspoon of salt, and then about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Now let's get all of this mixed together well, and I'm just going to let this sit here and simmer for about 2 or 3 minutes. Of course, we heated our little tortillas in the microwave, put a little cheese down in there to melt. I'm really intrigued by this because you know how much I love Tex-Mex flavors. This is a whole nother flavor profile. That's good. That is delicious.
That's very good.
I didn't put enough meat in mine. I'm going back. And I made plenty of the sauce. I really overmade the sauce. But hey, to me, that is what makes it. Man, you can taste the honey, the barbecue, the garlic. I just have the sauce and cilantro on mine. Patrick, you put sour cream on yours, didn't you?
Yeah, I'll put just a little sour cream. Maybe mix your cheeses up too. Maybe 2 different kinds of cheese.
That's a good idea. This one screams fall tacos to me. It's almost like a sloppy Joe kind of vibe. Do you get sloppy Joe from this, Dad?
Yeah, it makes me want your sloppy joe.
Makes you want sloppy Joes. I love it. And let me show you the little tortillas that I'm using. I made so much fun of these when I got them in my grocery order because look, they're only this big. But I love this size. It's high fiber, 0 net carbs by Olay. Honestly, I like this size. Look here. That's a perfect bite. He will be getting a little bit more meat. This is delicious. I'm so glad we tried this. It's a totally different take on Taco Tuesday. Getting away from the chili powder and the cumin and stuff that you have in the regular taco. These are warm. They're cozy. I love them. I'm going to go finish. I like them. Good evening, friends. We've got a lot of stuff going on here right now. I've got about 6 ounces of penne pasta boiling up in a pot of water. Going to cook it till it's al dente, about 10 or 11 minutes. I've got 1 pound of ground beef going right here in this skillet. Going to get it cooked through, and about 1/4 of an onion. Going to go into that. We're making a pizza pasta casserole tonight, which reminds me, we also need to preheat this oven to 350 degrees. I'm cooking my meat up in one of my Calphalon skillets. This is hard anodized aluminum. What I'm saying is this is oven safe. So I'm going to make it and bake it right in this one skillet. Now that my ground beef is cooked through, my onions are nice and translucent, I'm going to put in, let's say 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. As I tend to do, I am halving this recipe because it is just me and Patrick and Maddie here tonight. But I will have the full recipe when you look down in the description box and get this. It'll be the full recipe, to feed a large family with. Now, I did not put mushrooms in here. I forgot to mention that. This is very customizable to whatever your family might like on a pizza. My family would not like mushrooms, but if yours does, put them in when you do the onions and let them get nice and soft. Now my garlic has gotten nice and fragrant, so I'm just going to take a paper towel and dab up any excess grease off this meat. I don't want it swimming in grease here. Now that my grease is drained off, let's season this. Let's use a half a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of onion powder. And I'm just gonna sprinkle a little salt and pepper in to taste. Now let's get all of our seasonings stirred in. Now we're gonna add in some pizza sauce. I know this is like a mystery sauce out of my refrigerator. What this actually is a can of Chef Boyardee pizza sauce. I'll put a picture of what that looks like up here on the screen for you. This is one 15-ounce can. It just had a little bit out of it. I made me and Maddie some bagel bites in the air fryer the other night. I just used a smidgen out of this. Now, if you don't have pizza sauce, you can use marinara sauce or, just a spaghetti sauce. But hey, if I'm gonna make it and I want it to taste like a pizza, I'm gonna use pizza sauce. And I love the Chef Boyardee. And I do have it turned down just a little bit. I'm gonna need to get mine heated back up because it's been in the fridge. So let's get this heated. I'm also gonna put in probably, half a cup, a little bit less of these real bacon pieces. Just use your eyes, whatever you think sounds good for these amounts here. I've also had Patrick over here cutting up some pepperonis for me. This was his recipe. He sent me this recipe. I think it's a recipe from Katie Cross, and I've changed it just a little bit for our preferences, but he thought this sounded good, so I had him in here slicing my pepperonis up just a little bit smaller. You can put them in here full size if you want to. I just think it would be a little bit easier to eat chopped up. We're going to get all of this stirred down into our pizza sauce. I've drained my pasta. Going to stir it in now. I think this, just by the smell and the looks of it, I think this one right here is going to be a favorite that's going to show up at family dinner night in a large amount. This looks like something and smells like something that all of you guys are going to love. Now I'm taking a big generous cup of mozzarella cheese, putting it all over the top. Now, if you don't have an oven-safe skillet, don't worry. You can just dump all of this right into a greased 9x13 casserole dish and go to town with it. I'm just going to save a dish. I'm going to sprinkle a little Italian seasoning right over the top. Then, like I said, let's save some of these toppings for the actual top. Here's a little bit more of that crumbled bacon. Let's nestle a few pieces of pepperoni down in here. I think that's going to make it really look like what it is. Now we're just going to stick this skillet right into this 350-degree oven, and we are going to bake it for about 10 to 15 minutes till it's brown and bubbly and good to go. Right, Dad? Pizza, pasta, casserole. Your choice. Let's give it a try.
I don't remember where I seen this at. Oh boy, it's good though.
That is so good.
Huh. Almost up.
That is delicious. It's a wonderful Italian flavor. It's like super easy family style.
This is very good.
Tastes like a pizza.
It kind of does, though.
I mean, using the pizza sauce probably makes all the difference for that. That's good.
Pepperoni and the bacon makes it. Over the top.
I would have enjoyed some green onions in here because I like a supreme pizza with just a few mushrooms and the red onions and the green peppers. But this is delicious like it is. It really is. And
I forgot about that.
Yeah. We had a little treat. My son-in-law brought us some Olive Garden breadsticks last night, I guess. They had something at work, and they had a bunch of them left over. And I said, well, I'm making a pizza pasta. I'll make it tomorrow. And they had something to do tonight, or they'd be here eating this with us. But I told them I'd save them some. It's perfect to go with our breadsticks. I mean, how could we not?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, we could mess it up.
Oh, yeah, that's good, bub.
That's perfect. This is like a back-to-school dinner. You know?
You're doing a good job, Mom.
Well, thank you. You did a good job picking it out. If you enjoyed these new ground beef recipes, give this video a big thumbs up and let me know what your favorite one is down in the comments. And don't forget, if you're interested in Good Chop, I have all the discount information down in the description box for you. Thank you, friends, so much for choosing to spend a little bit of your time here with me today. I don't ever take that choice of yours for granted. And you can click right here to see the most popular ground beef video I have on my channel to date. It's one that you're going to go back to again and again for dinner ideas. I'll see you there. And as always, I send you love from my kitchen.